This episode of the Party Loaded podcast is proudly sponsored by Audible.com. Check out their awesome catalogue of audiobooks with over 180,000 titles to choose from. And be sure to grab a free audiobook on us and support the show by visiting audibletrial.com/endgame.
Let's party.
Hey everyone, this is Luke coming to you over the internet for another episode of Party Loaded. It is, of course, Thursday, the 10th of November. I shouldn't say, of course, because Thursday is not our usual recording night. We are going slightly later because we're all a little bit elated, giddy, and coming down pretty hard from a incredibly impactful and frenetic
and in other states
PAX experience. Yeah, exactly. Oh look, the come down this week's been from multiple things. Let's not kid ourselves. Anyway, you can hear Mimo. We also have Ollie and Jam here. Hello everyone.
Hello.
How's everyone feeling this morning? Is your new world in order? Everything okay?
Yeah. Getting back to normal life
I
is
wasn't going
hard.
anywhere else with that.
Yeah, you're not
Back to normal life yet. You're still over there.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Well, the PPD
Still living the dream.
usually hits pretty hard, so I just wanted to check in that we're all okay. We're all
Nah.
surviving. No?
Nah.
Yeah, I'm
Nah.
good.
Post-PAX blues, man. I'm just... Post-PAX blues has manifested a new American president, and it's not good.
No, it is not. Jam, you were cleaning. You must be in a seriously bad state. What the heck's going on there?
I know. Just,
It's
adult
just in.
things.
Jam is filthy.
I'm pretending to grown up, man. Relevant.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Bit sucky. Get back to a whole bunch of shit that needs doing.
Yeah.
But, it was nice sort of getting offline and away from games for a day or so and, not seeing your face. Yeah, bonus.
Right. Okay, so we're going like that, are we?
We had
She's
a
had
few
a
pretty
fill.
intense days of being around one another. So I had a nice quiet day. Yeah.
It was. I got no comeback for that. I'm actually in a fairly nice mood tonight.
It worked.
That was amazing.
Yes.
No, I'm going to be super nice because I really miss all of you, and I'm still feeling it from the weekend. But honestly, if we were going to do
Now
something,
don't you feel bad, Sam?
if we were going to do
feel
something
bad.
to put us all in the right frame of
fine.
mind, let's spend a good hour or so talking about the joys that we had over the weekend and reliving some of the fun stuff. That seems like a good way to come down
Memory
slowly.
lane.
Yeah. Yeah. So this episode, we are going to talk a fair bit about PAX Australia. If that's not your bag, then sorry, that's going to be pretty
Tough
much
shit.
what we're focusing on. But like even listeners from other countries, what we tend to have over here, you might find some wild, wacky, and interesting games and experiences. And there's definitely some cool indies that we want to sort of spread the word about, and you might want to check out down the track. So listen in, because there are tales to be told. But before we do that, we do have a little bit of news to cover, because there has been some stuff going on in the world of video games this last week or so. Some pretty cool stuff, actually.
Video games.
Video games, yeah.
All
I
right,
thought you
old
had a
man
stroke
Luke.
for a moment there.
He's full of the flubs after the weekend. You
Oh,
used
man.
all of your words over the weekend.
Don't even. Yeah, I handed in my word cards and I'm out. It's just terrible. BlizzCon, how was a thing? It happened on the weekend.
Yay!
Ollie, what was the big thing from BlizzCon that we all predicted and actually came true pretty much exactly how we predicted?
Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so Sombra was a thing.
Finally.
Yes, boop. Boop indeed.
Yeah.
Someone likes Archer.
Yeah. Some people's like Archer.
Yeah, exactly. So Sombra got revealed at BlizzCon. She got an animated short and was released on the PTR at BlizzCon. So she looks pretty cool. She's a hacker. She can disable abilities, stop health packs from being used by the enemy, and speed up their usage for your team. They actually respawn every 2 seconds.
That was
which
something
is
I was
insane.
not expecting. That was a very cool little reveal, that.
She can go invisible, which speeds her up. Her ultimate hacks everyone within an AoE and knocks down barriers and shields, which is amazing. And then she's good at pew-pew-pewing. Oh, and she has a teleporter straight from under a tournament without the telefragging, unfortunately. Which makes me sad.
How did
But yeah,
that...
she basically has a teleporter that she chucks down, and for the next 15 seconds,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's 15.
She can teleport back to it. So what a common play now is, you hack one of the health packs, you jack your teleporter down on it, you zip around, and if shit goes down, you teleport back to the health pack, and you're like, cool, and we're back. She looks super sneaky and tricksy.
What was not made clear is whether that teleporter could be destroyed like Symmetra's one can be. Did we get any read on that? Because that seems like, one of the things you could do to neuter that quite effectively. If you see it go up, you just shoot it in midair as it flies off, because it looks like something you kind of lob. So
I want to say you can. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes until the internet tells me no.
Otherwise.
What yes
until
means is
someone
he doesn't
actually
know.
who knows what they're talking about answers.
Yeah.
He's not
If
sure,
it's-
but it
if
sounds like a
it's-
good idea.
A teleporter that's unique to her, if no one else can utilize it, then possibly not.
You mentioned telefragging a second ago. Not that this is particularly relevant, but I'm just curious. In Unreal, did that work that if someone was standing on it, you died on the way through? Is that what you're talking about?
No, they did.
Oh, okay. So you could actually use it as
Like in
weapon. Cool.
Helldivers.
Yeah.
Okay, no, you cannot destroy her teleporter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, confirmed. Ollie facts.
She seems super nasty and tricksy, and I
She be
want to play
all
her.
sorts of nasty.
I think my favourite thing about the announcement, other than the boop, obviously, because obviously Blizzard made her that I would love her instantly, was also Blizzard admitting that they're really not that good at ARGs.
I do.
But everyone went, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
At least they can learn from that example, and maybe next time they do something like that, they can do something a little bit more short term and not sort of, play it out to an absolutely obvious outcome, which we all knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Blizzard, we can't stay mad at you. Look at that face.
No, we can't. Especially
Yeah, we
not
can.
considering they also announced a new arcade mode for Overwatch. Now, this is super exciting. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, what comes in arcade, Ollie?
Oh, me again.
Yep.
So in arcade, there's multiple new things. So we've got a mystery duel, which is a 1v1, where you play mystery heroes on a new map, which is Maze Antarctica map, and you actually get a reward. You get a loot box for it, which is quite nice. You then also have a 3 vs 3 elimination one, where it is permadeath. So during the round, you have permadeath, unless you have a mercy, in which case you don't. And again, loot box reward. The usual 6 vs 6, which you can have mystery heroes as well for that. And then you have a 6 vs 6 no limits, which is the usual quick play as we know it. There's also a traditional quick play, which is essentially competitive mode light, where you can only have one of each hero in it. So the no limits one replaces the old quick play essentially. And then you have an all brawls 6 vs 6 as well playlist, which I don't know yet if that includes seasonal ones. I'd be surprised if it did, but it definitely includes all the older brawls, like We're All Soldiers Now, and changed cooldowns, the All Defense Heroes one, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, in the arcade mode, every 3 wins you get a loot box.
Which is
So you can earn up to 3 loot boxes
for
a week.
days.
so awesome. That is something I was crying out for, and they finally added it. That's really, really cool. So
So if you win 3 vs 3 eliminations, mystery duels, you get loot boxes, or a loot box. And then for every 3 wins in your arcade, you get a loot box up to a maximum of 9. And it resets every week. Which is
So-
amazing.
I do hope that the playlist for Brawls includes some of the seasonal ones. I couldn't give a crap about Lucio Ball, but I would love to play Junkenstein's Revenge again. That would be really, really cool. So hoping for that. So Overwatch, I think there was a moment where Ollie, you and I and Simo, who was staying in the same apartment as us over in Melbourne, sort of saw all the news and just went, kind of want to go and play Overwatch right now. It's just...
Jam and I had the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those moments, which is cool. So, very, very last bit of Overwatch news. Blizzard also announced a new official Overwatch League, which is something that we all knew that Overwatch and esports were, peanut butter and jelly as far as Blizzard were concerned. But this is going to be a very, very well organized league where they're actually focusing on having local teams with proper pay structures and, proper seasonal structure with off-season periods and all sorts of stuff as well. So they outlined some of their plans for that. And that sounds like another step up from what they've been doing with their other esports in the past, which is really, really cool. So, yeah. Who knows? We might actually end up with some Australian teams that are a little bit more sort of city-based that we can, actually follow and have a bit of a vested interest in rather than just, anonymous groups of dudes on the internet that you don't really connect with because they're just, on the internet, essentially. So
I would like a lobby system.
Yes, that would be kind of good too. That would help facilitate
great.
all of that. Yeah. All right, so Hearthstone in under 2 minutes. The Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, so the Gadgetzan expansion that we spoke about very briefly last episode, was announced. It is the very sort of mob-themed sort of the old mobster gremlin town, sort of with goblins, of course, because it's, World of Warcraft world. Now, the interesting thing that they announced with the expansion was that there are basically cards coming out that are tricolour. So the big theme is that there's 3 different organisations in Gadgetzan, which represent each sort of a group of 3 of the different classes. And there are cards that are specific to those different factions. So I'm going by memory here, but one is Warlocks, Mages, and Priests. One is rogues, druids, and shamans, and the other one is warriors, paladins, and hunters. No, I've got at least one of those wrong. But anyway, and you'll get cards that work for only the 3 within each of those groups, which is kind of cool. A whole bunch of new cards getting released. They will be out in early December. It is a full-size expansion, so that's a good 120 plus cards. My personal favourite that has been sort of shown at the moment is a card that allows you to craft a new spell on the fly using the Discover mechanic. So you literally drop this guy, and if you've got no doubles of cards in your deck, you basically get 3 different tiers of options to create your own spell mid-game. So you can create like a quick little zappy zap to help you out, or something that's really meaty and costs 10 mana and just, destroys the board. So yeah, some cool stuff. That's really interesting. More Hearthstone stuff in weeks to come. So there you go. Mean Streets of Gadgetzan. Done. Diablo.
I'm amazed.
Good job. Come so far.
What's that? Sorry?
You've come so far.
Diablo, we were sort of wondering whether there was going to be a big announcement with Diablo's sort of anniversary. Turns out there kind of was and kind of wasn't. So we're not seeing a Diablo 4, which is, I guess, probably fairly predictable. I don't think anyone really genuinely thought that was going to happen. But it turns out that Blizzard considers Diablo 1 still is a good thing, and so they're going to bring it to Diablo 3. So
why not?
Yeah. Apparently, it's going to be
when everything is old and it's new again in 2016, the year of nostalgic games. Then yes,
it is true. I don't have a problem with some of this stuff because it does, with this fast-paced world that we live in, with games, hitting their shelves quicker than ever before because the new shiny is always one step ahead. I think that there's a lot of stuff that could come round again that could see some more love. So I don't have a problem with this at all, especially if it's a timed event.
That's what old people always say about fashion, Luke. You're like old father games.
Oh, dear. Fine. All
Didn't
right.
want to say it.
You guys remember the character class of the Necromancer? That thing's coming back as well. Mm-hmm. So he was kind of cool. A little bit like the Witch Doctor that's currently in D3 in a few ways, but had his own flavour. So, and he is, of course, a Heroes of the Storm character, so makes sense for him to still be a thing. So, yeah, that is pretty cool. Doesn't necessarily make me want to reinstall Diablo 3, mostly because of the amount of other stuff that's, vying for attention at the moment. But Diablo fans who are still doing the seasons will enjoy that, no doubt. Very, very small amount of Heroes of the Storm news. Ragnaros from Warcraft and Varian Wrynn are coming to Heroes of the Storm. Spoiler alert for Varian. Part of the reason why he's coming to HOTS is possibly because, as far as World of Warcraft goes, he dead. So, yeah.
Wow, you could have just put that really delicately and said, he's not involved anymore, or no, but you just went.
No. Remember how Luke is just
there.
spoiler man?
Well,
That's his superhero.
I did say spoiler
It
alert.
is. Yeah.
And to be fair, he's not the only character in that
You
game
need
that's
to take
dead,
a
is there?
breath between spoiler alert and the spoiler, though.
No,
that's the rule.
there's a lot to cover tonight, Imogen. There are no breaths to be taken. That's just not on the agenda. I'm looking at bullets. There's nowhere that says breath. All right, moving on. Okay, upcoming World of Warcraft Legion patch content. This was kind of interesting. So they actually gave a bit of information about not only the next patch, but the next 2 after that. Really, really briefly, there is a whole bunch of time-walking dungeons being added from Mists of Pandaria, so you'll be able to go back and play the dungeon sort of collection from Mists again using that time walk feature, which is kind of cool. And it means that the dungeons are sort of scaled up to the current level, which means that, they're actually a challenge and you're not going back in and just, beating characters that are, 20, 30 levels your junior, which is good. They're going to be adding more sort of micro holidays, which are kind of like little 1 or 2 day events, which do stuff like the Halloween thing they did recently, which is kind of cool. Story-wise, it looks like the next big content patch is going to be called the Tomb of Sargeras, so that'll take players back to the Broken Shore, which is where the Legion expansion actually kicked off and the demon invasion commenced. And then looking a little bit further into the future, there's going to be new artifact stuff added. So new things you can actually unlock on existing artifacts and some cosmetic stuff as well. And there will also be a raid or a dungeon added at some point. They haven't specified exactly what nature this is going to take, which is going to see you going off-world to a region that the Legion has actually conquered in the past. I think it's the original Draenei world. So you're actually going to sort of go in. They likened it in the piece I read about it very similar to the ending of Mass Effect 2, where you kind of go into the belly of the beast and sort of take on the biggest, baddest version of the demons there. So, I mean, Ollie and Jam, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say Mass Effect 2 sort of final boss fight. Imogen, you not so much. But yeah, something like that. That sounds kind of cool. So if that's a raid sort of wrapping up some of the big story arcs, then yeah, something to look forward to. Now, there was one kind of interesting thing that happened just while we're on the topic of WoW over the weekend. So Blizzard up front before BlizzCon actually sort of said that during the event they're not going to be covering any news or announcements or commenting further on the ongoing issue of the legacy World of Warcraft servers. So, we spoke on the show a little while back about the Nostalrius server getting shut down by Blizzard, from breaching terms of service and...
Nostralis.
Nostralis, yeah.
Yeah,
Nostralis,
good job.
I don't know. Call it what you want. But apparently the group behind that server and some others that have sort of been caught in the crossfire are actually banding together and have decided that no news from Blizzard is not good enough. They're going to go ahead and do their own thing again anyway. And I don't know how they're planning on doing this, but apparently they've got a way to bring back the legacy servers on a whole host of different hosting locations and in a way that I don't know if they're going to be skirting with the law on that or whether they found a way to do it without sort of breaching.
No, it's a breach.
It does sound hyper illegal to me.
Yeah, the problem here is they always have wanted to do it, and their discussions that they had with Blizzard some time ago, they were hoping that they could do it with their permission or in a way that they wouldn't be contravening, obviously, their IP. And the way that they run things, but they haven't heard anything from Blizzard, and so yes, they just made the decision to do it anyway, it seems, or at least try or proceed with some different things and hope they hear something back before they release.
What could
so
possibly
we'll see.
go wrong?
Exactly. It's a shame. There's a real huge fan base behind these legacy vanilla WoW servers, so we'll see. Elysium's got a lot of sway and a lot of volunteers who work behind it to keep it running, so we'll see.
I think it's kind of weird that they expected something to happen from Blizzard's end as quickly as this. I mean, this story was only, 3 months old? I don't think it's been that long. And, Blizzard, as we all know, pun intended, moves at a pretty glacial pace when it comes to this sort of stuff. So,
they've been a little bit busy.
Yeah, exactly. They've got other games to support that are, making huge amounts of revenue and have huge fresh player bases. So,
not good enough.
Yeah.
Big staff changes.
Yeah, that's true.
Big time.
So, interesting.
Something reasonable. This is nerds we're talking about.
Yeah, so that is BlizzCon in a nutshell. There's a nutshell. All right.
That was the fucking worst nutshell I've ever heard.
Was that a horse?
Yeah, maybe.
That's animal like
2 out of 10.
trotting
Worst
horse.
nutshell ever.
Coconut.
Would not nutshell again.
All right. It is
Would
at
not put in Monty
this
Python.
point of copying crap from every direction. I'm going to handball to Jam to talk about N7 Day. So, Mass Effect. What's going on?
Mass Effect Andromeda. So there's a new trailer, and it's pretty. And, I can't wait. I feel like I should be avoiding everything because my hype just accelerates ridiculously when I see it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Jump online and check it out. It gives us a little more information. So the mission to Andromeda, which is a 600 years of cryosleep mission that the Ryder family and everyone else is going on, is outlined a little further in the Andromeda Initiative. Apparently you can sign up, if you jump online and sign up with your Origin account, you can unlock some extra details and potentially an in-game helmet if you do so. But yeah, it's some refugees heading out of the Milky Way towards Andromeda. I found out that the little, what was the Mako is now called the Nomad, along with that beautiful ship, the Tempest. And it looks like, what were their names? The 2 Ryder main characters. They were very generic names.
All I know is that they're Pathfinders. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Well, their dad's the Pathfinder.
Their dad is Alec. I remember that.
Yeah, Scott and Sarah Ryder. Their dad is Alec Ryder, and he's nominated the Pathfinder. So for their group of ships, he's the one running the quest to find a suitable planet for colonization, it sounds like. But the video suggests something goes horribly wrong. There's a line said by, I think it was a female voice, stating, "You're the new Pathfinder." So whether that's implying that Doom is going to find Alec, we're not sure. Yeah.
Because who doesn't love a main hero with daddy issues?
Woo! 2 main heroes with daddy issues it's going to be. Yeah, but it looks gorgeous. Getting ridiculously excited already, which is just stupid. It's far too soon. Go watch the trailer
about
if
that
you're at
hype
all
train.
curious.
That trailer certainly was something. There was some good looking stuff in there.
Yeah, and did you see Hyperion as a what was Hyperion? That was the main vessel. Just immediately made me think of Borderlands.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god, imagine if they somehow tied in. But that's probably
No.
Turns out
no.
the dad is actually Handsome Jack.
That would be amazing.
That
Holy
would be
crap.
a super weird reveal, but yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I really liked about the trailer is that the sort of picture that it's crafting is that whole situation where, because they're venturing so far from humanity, that they're basically the aliens now, and they're in this uncharted galaxy where everything looks at them as a threat. But they have to maybe sort of draw that line as to whether they're actually going to help or hinder the aspects of the galaxy around them.
Yeah, and the supposed bad guy race looks suitably doomy. There was a whole lot of bass in the trailer. We didn't see all of the races from previous Mass Effects. There was a Solarian, there was an Asari. I can't remember who else, so not yet sure.
That was it.
How many races are going to be actually traveling over on the Hyperion or on the Andromeda Initiative. But that'll be interesting to see what races they might cut so that they can introduce new ones, or whether they're just going to make it a free-for-all. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks doomy.
Oh, man.
It's like
Mass
shit's
Effect.
going down and going wrong, which is just exciting.
They have said that it's not necessarily the start of a new trilogy, though, which I find intriguing. I'm not sure whether when the original Mass Effect came out that it was planned ahead as a trilogy at that point either. Maybe it will kind of take its own shape depending on how well things go. Maybe they've left it open to kind of, I guess, write those chapters as they see fit. But I don't know.
Even just a pair of games would be fine. You don't need to be trilogies.
Yeah, possibly. It'd be kind of
Hey,
cool.
as long as they've got good story and they don't start dilating it too much due to the branching consequences, I'm happy for them to keep making it. Especially if I'm attached to the characters. With the first Mass Effect series, got ridiculously attached to some of the characters. They were so well written. They had so much personality. If they miss that mark this time round, that would be devastating.
Yeah.
So interested and intrigued. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
There is a Krogan in the trailer, Jamie. I'm watching it now.
Ooh, very cool.
Krogan, there's another one.
All right, so Ollie and Jam, we 3 of us have a job between now and Andromeda's launch, and that is to get Mimo to play some original Mass Effect stuff.
It won't be hard. It'll be, here's the humble bundle.
Yeah.
Done.
Look, I got to say, finding the time aside, I don't think it would be a tough sell in terms of the type of game, because Mimo, I think you would eat this stuff up for breakfast. You would
No,
love
I
the shit
agree, and
out
it's
of it.
only ever been time.
Yeah.
It's my only challenge.
Conveniently, Christmas time coming up.
And if I remember,
Can't keep shoehorning games into there, guys. It's not infinite space.
Do it.
yeah, there does reach
All
a
of
point
them.
of critical Christmas mass. So,
Yeah. Also, outside is a thing.
yeah.
You're wrong.
Not in Australia.
You're actually just wrong.
Not at Christmas.
Yeah, it's summer. You go outside, you
wrong.
just die.
I'm an
Cook.
outdoorsy nerd. I have to breathe.
Oh
and
gosh.
open a window, get
The
burnt,
light.
and then close it.
Well, if you want to go outside, why don't you go outside and ride a bike in GTA?
That's not
that's
outside. That's awful.
That was
Segway was as
just
good as a Faggio.
awful.
Yeah, that's true.
Faggio of segways.
GTA joke.
All right, Ollie,
That
this one's
being
yours.
said, no. Well,
What's
I was
going on?
gonna
Oh, yeah, you
just
go.
You go, Jamie.
mention
Go
because
on,
I've
go
tried
on.
it.
Seems more
New
valid.
content, GTA 5 Online, Cold Deadline, very Tron. So much Tron. All of the Tron. I jumped on yesterday and had a go, and it's great. And I was like, okay. Some people are already just fabulous at it. It chucks you into a little mini level. You've got a fancy Tron-like bike and outfit with beautiful glowing lights, and you're each colour themed. And you drive around with this little trail spitting up behind you, trying to trap and explode everyone else. I killed myself a lot.
Now, Jamie, what's the cost of said biking game?
The cost of said biking game?
Yeah, didn't you say it was horrifically expensive?
Oh, the bike. So the bike, once you've played one of the deadline formats, you can then purchase the bike through, the in-game internets or whatever. It's like 2.2 million.
Whoa!
I'm saying
That
you
that
guys have been
number,
spending
yo.
your money on all of the other stuff.
Yeah,
I
don't think
haven't.
I'm not gonna probably, no.
So what did they just gift us with an eighth of that in the recent promotion?
Yeah, so I got my 250k for logging on around Halloween or for the third anniversary. That puts me at about 400k in savings. I think I'm going to start my criminal empire with that instead of saving up for this bike because while it's beautiful, maybe if I, had wads of cash floating around, but I just don't jump on that much anymore. But I only played 2 of the levels. There are at least 5. I'm not sure. But it was neat. It was a nice new addition to the game, and I can't wait to play it with you guys because it's fun. There's like a few little power-ups in the levels to help you against others. There's a time slowy thing, one that makes you speed up, one that makes you jump, so you can hop over someone else's trail. So it's neat. It's very neat. It's good fun. Short
Jamie.
bursts though.
Yeah.
Just buy the $3.5 million shark cash card.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's only $65.
Oh gosh.
yeah.
They really have
mean,
mastered
maybe-
the art of stealth DLC, haven't they?
Or
Yeah, it really
$130 gets you the 8 million Megalodon shark card.
No, I'm not prepared to spend any more money just yet. Although I'm sure my dollars per hour is like insanely good because 3 years, 3 years of
Can you
playing this
sell
game, and I'm not bored.
Your yacht.
No, I don't think I can, but I love my yacht. I spawn on my yacht and grab my helicopter and go wherever I
I
want.
spawn on my yacht. That's
I
great.
do.
Jamie is a frog.
It's lovely.
This is how Jamie gets outdoors in the Christmas time. She spawns on her yacht.
That's one hell of a soundbite,
The
Jam.
simulated
That's one hell
sunlight
of a
on my
soundbite.
screen is hurting my eyeballs. I can't take it. I need my sunglasses.
All right. Well, anyway,
That is me.
we should probably move on to the crux of tonight's discussion topics because we've got a ton of stuff to get through. So, PAX was a thing. PAX Australia 2016. It was our
I made it
fourth
this
PAX.
time.
Yeah, Ollie actually made it. And I've got to say, credit where credit's due, man. You this year have successfully broken the Ollie curse. You've broken the PAX curse.
Yay. I did that thing.
Yeah. So just very, very quickly, what was it? The first year you lost your luggage. The second year, no, your first year you missed your flight.
No,
Second year you lost
I
your
missed my
luggage.
flight because I slept in.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Third year your leave got cancelled, and this year you were all good. So well done. It worked out well.
I did a thing.
Yeah. All right, so we have sort of just gotten back, except for Mimo, who's actually still over in Melbourne doing work stuffs, so and having a bit of time. So we're dialing in remotely tonight, but you'll be back next week. So we all flew over on the same plane, which was pretty fun. Played some cool games on the plane.
Bit of a risk with said curse.
I got to
but,
start.
You know,
Yeah, I was a
worked
little,
out.
little cautious about that myself.
Fuck you guys.
I was staying in a room with him. I was thinking about setting my alarm
I'm
late
a
at night.
person, not a plague.
Sounds cozy though.
Yet to be determined.
Yeah,
Oh.
depends on who you ask.
Verdict is
To be
So-
determined.
Ollie, you learnt a new game on the plane. We got to play Splendor on the iPad with you. That was kind of fun.
that was good.
Yeah.
I won my first game. Turns out I'm good at counting jewels.
Yeah. So it's a super cool board game that has a nice iPad app, so that was good fun. We played like a spot the hidden object game, which was one of those built-in plane ones, which was surprisingly
Which I
fun.
was
And my
fucking
eyes were
awful at.
so
Yeah.
sore after that.
Jam was
could not
ridiculously good
even-
at that. I mean, what the hell? I don't understand how you were getting that so fast every time. What was going on?
Slightly
Skills.
photographic memory.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she has
no.
awesome eyesight, so
Well, it's failing me. No, I just I'd scan a section, scan the words, scan another section, remember, go back, be efficient, try not to cross the screen too many times. Getting the strategy. Yeah, I was pretty awesome.
I was
Yep.
getting frustrated at you smashing us so much that I was using the touchscreen a little too hard, and the guy whose seat was in front of me
Yeah.
turned around and just went, "Do you mind?" And I was like,
that.
crap, sorry, man." So
I couldn't believe it. I was like, Luke,
Cool
why
guy,
aren't you
Luke.
using the remote? And you just ignored me
'Cause the
entirely
remote
until
was
you got
so
yelled at.
And you were
Slow.
punching the screen. You made his whole headdress move.
yeah. Well, anyway,
So determined.
After I noticed that was the end of that. So. All right. Well, anyway, first big thing when we actually got over there was the Child's Play charity auction quiz night. Try saying that 5 times fast. All right. So, I mean, ladies, you did the one last week. So, do you want to do a quick rundown? What's the whole trivia night all about?
Well, the whole trivia night is about having fun, number one, and number two, raising money for Child's Play, which is Penny Arcade's charity benefiting children's hospitals around the world.
For the kids.
Hashtag
for the
episode
kids.
40 of Party Loaded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We loved it last year. It was a big highlight for those of us who could make it across early, so we made it a big effort to get as many people as we could across early this year, and we had 2 tables. Turns out I chose the wrong table because one table came third and one table came don't know. And we were doing well initially.
Yeah, that surprised
And
me.
then just no more scores were read out, and I have no idea where we came, but I don't think it was good. And
It wasn't third. Yeah.
and it wasn't last, and it wasn't even random score in the middle that gets a prize. We were just flotsam in the middle of all of the scores.
Pick who was on the table that got third.
Exactly. The prizes were insane. Again, the questions were great. We had a round where we were given the periodic table, and then we had to use the elements in the periodic table, like Scrabble, to make the highest scoring word that we could.
That was so cool. I thought that was an awesome
It was
challenge.
amazing.
Yeah.
We got a couple of words. I mean, we came up with one, and I thought, great, done. We have like 340 points or whatever for a word. And then the rest of my table spent like their whole lives trying to figure out a better word, and it blew my mind how dedicated some people were to making that word. And in the end, someone blew us all away with a 450 point word or something ridiculous. So solid night. $6,800 was raised, which was some silent auctions, some live auctions, and of course raffle tickets and everything else on the night. It was really good, and a massive kudos to the guys who organise it. They do it all based off their own back and contacting people, and get some massive support from some great people. So highly recommend if you're checking out PAX next year and you heard about this and didn't get a chance to go, buy tickets for next year. We'll try and let everybody know when tickets are open for next year here, and check it out. It was awesome fun, and we got off the plane at 4:20 and were seated at the quiz by 6:30.
Yeah.
So we sort of got off the plane, dropped our stuff at a hotel, got quickly changed, ran to the quiz. Ordered dinner there, and it was well worth it. I don't regret it for a second. So
And
much
our friend
fun.
Simo,
Next year I'm gonna be
even- Our friend Simo even managed in that time to put his cosplay gear on and rock up at the event. And
Yeah,
he
and
was
then win the cosplay.
won the cosplay
Yeah.
award, yeah. He did good. So he was dressed as Jean d'Arc from Ruby, of course. That's how you pronounce it, isn't it? Jean? Yeah, that sounds about right.
John.
One,
Yep.
gone.
So check it out next year if you can. Well worth it. It was a good night. Next year, maybe we'll get an earlier flight, so we're not running around like mad things.
Yeah.
That was a bit nuts, but otherwise,
It's time for a
it was-
Nando's.
Yeah,
Not a cheeky Nando's, just a regular Nando's.
just a regular Nando's.
Yeah, no, that was good, and the alcohol was flowing plenty during the evening. That was good too. I got to give one quick shout out to Ollie though, not only for being on the table that got third place, but for also contributing a fairly decent amount of change to that fundraising effort. So, what did you actually pick up in the end for yourself out of that?
I picked up a Twisp and Catsby framed art prints that were like beautifully wooden framed and whatnot. And so
They were beautiful.
I went for those. And then also tried to get the Acquisitions Inc. Signed strips, but someone outbid me, which was very frustrating. But that's okay. I had a budget. I stuck to it. It was all good. And then didn't stick to it the following 3 days.
You did not. No, but we've got some photos of those prints up on our Instagram, so if anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah.
What is it? Instagram.com/partyloaded? I think that's about right.
It's just at Party Loaded on
sounds like-
Instagram.
Yeah, sounds legit.
Old father games over here.
Yeah.
How did the
Let the
Instagram
young
works?
Imogen deal with the social medias and the twits.
All right.
I'm not even that young.
All right. Anyway, so we actually hit up PAX proper after that. So day one, Friday. Now, of course, we were fairly busy over the course of the weekend doing a whole bunch of media stuff, and the fruits of that will be appearing over the coming days. So there's a whole bunch of videos going up on our
I thought you were about to say
YouTube
the
channel.
fruits of that was not having to queue.
Well, yeah, the fruits of that was also
like,
not having
yep.
a queue. That was kind of good.
Yep.
It did allow us to get in on the Friday and get a sneaky preview of Horizon Zero Dawn. So
Oh, so good.
Yeah. What'd you
Yep,
guys
seems
think?
cool.
So
I need me a PS4. It's as difficult.
Yeah, me too.
Really difficult.
think
It
that
was
decided it
beautiful.
for me.
Yeah, the mechanics of the game, just getting hands on with it, just pretty. And these weren't even PS4 Pros, so I can't even begin to imagine what it would look like on that if you had the capable television as well. So they've done a good job.
yeah, the movement for that character is it Aloy? Was that the
Yeah.
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 Seems super intuitive. Like I was on top of it in no time flat, and there was enough granularity there with the different weapon options and flicking between different fairly prehistoric weapons that, but it's still designed to mess around with tech in different ways to kind of interact with the different creatures around you. I love the ability to sort of scan stuff and see the weak points and then aim for that when you're fighting it, adding that whole layer to the combat. That was awesome.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
resources. So if you were only after resources and then you could run away, you could. And just a real great scavenger mechanic, which I really liked.
And the
See, for me, the biggest part that actually made me interested in the game, because before I was like, man, this thing looks meh, whatever, robots, how does that make sense? Is the whole part of the plot is figuring out how the hell that actually came to be. And suddenly I'm like, hey, it actually sounds reasonable now. So now I'm interested again, because I am a magpie, and it's shiny.
I got to admit, like the whole time we were playing that, I was in a small way getting minor pangs from your D&D campaign that you ran recently, Ollie. There was some aspects of the
Yes.
setting that sort of seemed familiar. So yeah, which is kind of cool.
I steal from everything, because I am a magpie,
Yep.
and see all the shiny things.
Which is totally fine. I love the stealth mechanic too, like being able to slide through long grass and sort of creep around in it, and duck and cover behind rocks and stuff like that. The environment was
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So
Definitely had some strong echoes of the more recent Tomb Raider. That's for sure. Having played both, but different enough to be an attractive enough prospect for a PS4 purchase. That's for sure.
So one we'll no doubt all be keeping an eye on. There's some pretty seriously good stuff heading into next year that looking forward to. So yeah, it was cool. So we didn't have a lot of time sort of before the hall opened proper to do much else. I mean, we had a bit of a skirt around and checked out some minor stuff. But then when the doors opened, we ended up getting stuck into a small hour-long Overwatch tournament, which ended badly. So we won't talk
Yeah.
much about that.
We got wrecked.
Lessons were learned. Yeah.
Yeah, lessons were learned. One lesson in particular being check your key mapping before the games begin, because I had no alt fire, and that was not good, I can tell you. Try playing just about anything except for Bastion without alt fire and see how far you get. So, yeah. But yeah, no. What else did you guys get up to on Friday? We obviously had the Omegathon, which we'll sort of get into in a sec. But anything else sort of notable on the first day?
Oh, so many things. That's the problem is, lots of different things on the day. I definitely think Megathon colored my Friday quite strongly, I will
That's
say.
fair.
Yeah. How about you guys?
I sat down and caught some of the Rocket League tournament championships. That was happening. The arena area they had set up had chairs, had huge screens behind the teams, and commentators. It was very well put together and fun to watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was good fun. And I'm pretty sure we were broadcast at some point. It would cut to the audience. I was like, oh, that's us. Okay.
My face.
That was nice to just sit down and watch and see. I mean, these guys are obviously highly, highly talented, and they were very, very entertaining to watch because of their skill levels.
Was that the ESL League area? Is that what they...
Yeah.
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 I was really impressed this year that they had it set up like a proper spectator area with seats and stuff, rather than just like a mass of
Yes.
people standing around in a mob.
Yeah. The
So-
seats made it much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of, when you want a moment to just sit down and watch something cool and, not necessarily have to jostle for position around like a mosh pit. That was nice. I sat down and watched a couple of Rocket League rounds with you guys, and it reinforced one thing very, very solidly for me, and that is that Rocket League is still not the game for me. So, was not that enamored by what I was seeing. I was like, seems okay. seems like watching another sport of any sort that I just don't give a crap about. But yeah,
Seems all right.
yeah.
Yeah, the opposite. I mean, I'm not a massive sports ball fan, let's say, but I actually enjoyed sitting down. Like, I didn't have long to spend there, but I definitely enjoyed sort of watching other people play it and could appreciate the massive amount of skill that these people have in playing the game. I mean, I can barely, get myself off the ground, and these people are basically flying around the arena, so
Oh yeah,
amazing.
it's definitely a game that after a certain skill point is not the same game as what the other people are
Exactly
playing.
right. Yeah, exactly right. Just amazing to watch.
It is
They did a
infinitely
really good
better with
job.
commentary as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, makes a big difference. Well, should we talk Omegathon then? Because I think this is a pretty big thing that we should
Cue
have
the
a
violin.
chat about.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sad. Still
yeah.
too raw, guys.
I'll get the salt.
Mimo, this
Thanks.
is all you. So take it away. How was your Omegathon experience over the weekend?
Mimo Nord update final. I was out in the first round.
Aw.
My one wish was to get to that Rascals round, and I got absolutely hammered in Uno. It was, it was good, and it was one of those things. It all comes down to chance in Uno. We knew it was going to be luck of the cards or heart of the cards. Was going to be a big factor, and unfortunately it was. I was the recipient of many a draw 4. I know exactly how I could have not been knocked out just by not playing one card and playing another one. I've replayed it many times in my head, and I was knocked out. So, say la vie. I played my ultimate game of Uno. I feel happy with how I played. I don't think I could have played better. So, well, say la vie. But there was 5 of us knocked out that round, and then went on to Rascals, which was awesome to watch, but also very heartbreaking because I know I would have been good at that game. Third round was Western Press, like we've mentioned before, and it was on the dance mat as we had maybe theorized, and it was awesome. It was a great spectacle to watch. The Western Press developers were there and supporting the use of the dance mat, and there's some awesome pictures online of the Omeganauts giving that a go. And then, of course, we went into Bop It round, which saw the most awesome
my
round
God.
of Bop It that I think I've ever seen in my life.
That was
And
so
Yeah, that
good.
was just
we
silly.
had Crispy Goat stand up on stage. I think she was the 3rd or the 4th person, and just take hold of that Bop It, enter beast mode, and just zen the fuck out. And she just
Made
got
it
a
her bitch.
straight 200 and then received a standing ovation from the crowd. It was easily my best moment of PAX.
That was so good. Yeah.
It was
It was
wonderful.
amazing. It was in the main theatre. It was, her genuine relief / shock at what she had achieved as well. The joy of everyone in the crowd. She had such
And
a
the-
big cheer squad as well. So
I just
And
love
the
how all
oh
of,
shit
I
from
love
the
how
rest of
all
the
of, all of the
Omeganauts.
Omeganauts were being given 3 cracks at this, and after she did that in her first go, Travis, who from Child's Play, who was running the games, basically took it off her and said, "Sit the fuck down.
I think you're good.
You are done."
Well, she
we gotta
maxed it. First
Yeah.
attempt.
Yeah, first attempt, and about halfway through, I was just like, "What is happening?" And everyone's looking at each other, going, "This is amazing!" And like, "What's going to happen?" And is she going? And it was just everyone. It was the most natural built suspense, and the epic conclusion are just amazing. Unfortunately, 4 Omeganauts did lose out in that round. There was some brutal Uno, and the thing brutal Bop It. The thing with Bop It is your brain tricks you. So you say twist it, you go to twist it, but you accidentally touch something else, or you bump into something on the way, and and the pressure of being on the main stage was a lot as well. So kudos to those guys. I don't think I could have got up and done Bop It on the large stage and done as well as I could, in the Galah theatre that everything else was in.
Yeah. I do love how the Bop It's like there's these staged sort of pauses where like after you have like a big string of the different
Beat break,
instructions,
yeah.
there's like this little pause, and everybody was getting up to that point except for Crispy Goat, just sort of thinking, "Oh God, I get to pause for a second." Not all it's doing is fucking with you. It's just breaking the rhythm.
It messed so many people up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the change in rhythm. It's designed so you don't get sort of stuck into a mechanical kind of mode, because that's what you've got to try and do with it. Just amazing. That was great. And I never thought that watching Bop It on a stage would be something that would be one of my favourite memories of PAX,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Definite highlight.
And then we went into day 3. We saw Sonic, which whittled the field all the way down to the final 2. We had 2 ladies in the final, which meant that for the first time ever, the Omegathon champion, or the Meganaut, was going to be a female, which was huge. And we saw the most epic final round of a VR game called Cowbots and Aliens. If you want to do yourself a favor, look this up on the Penny Arcade Twitch channel. It's up there. It was amazing. This is basically a Wild West shootout in VR, and the two ladies in it were Arknim and Bannerfall, both amazing adaptive gamers that proved themselves at every stage. And then we just saw them take control of this game where you can break bottles, and we're dual-wielding shotguns and poking through doors and ducking under things and using strategic teleports. It was, my goodness, I just, to stand up on stage and play this game and to, I don't think developers were hoping for such a great first showcase of their game, but it was just something to behold. So yeah, I could just go on and on and on about it, but you really should check it out on Twitch if you get a chance.
That's my
just
favourite.
An amazing final round.
Standout moment. It was superb. And they both took hold of that game and went pro by the end of the first round. They were just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to watch it again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was
silly.
entertaining, and there was a bit of technical hiccups. They
poor
did need
Mike.
to turn it off and on again. Mike from Penny Arcade just kind of stood up and entertained the crowd as much as he could while they got everything figured out. And
He did a
but I'm
great
glad
job.
that they
He did a
stuck
great
with
job.
it. Yeah, I'm so glad they stuck with it, because that was also super amazing to watch. The best thing for me, and maybe some of my fellow Omeganauts are listening, is it was really nice, and one of them put it really well after the weekend and posted up and said, I didn't really think that I could bump into or be placed together with 21 other strangers, and for them all to be awesome. And, we hung out all weekend, and, even though I was knocked out in the first round, I went to all the rounds and was chatting to them all, and everyone sort of stayed in contact. And I feel like, the next couple of years when we go to PAX, that'll be a big thing that we'll try and catch up and support our other Omeganauts. And it's not been a huge part of my PAXs before. It's been on my radar. We obviously always watch the final round. I usually try to get to one other, but from now on, Omegathon is going to be, I think, a big part of my PAX, and it was great. So thank you, fellow Omeganauts, if you're listening. It was wicked. It was, even though I got my first round loser medal, I'm still very proud to have been an Omeganaut this year. It was amazing, and on all you guys coming along with me, all the guys from Perth who came to see my fateful Uno round, still sort of really supportive throughout the weekend, even though I was out in the first round.
And congrats to Bannerfall for winning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well deserved.
It was so
Omegathon
close.
was a definite highlight for me this year as well. I got two things I want to say about it though. First one, gratuitous plug. If you want to see a lot more of the Omegathon this year, one of the other places you can do so shortly after this episode goes to air is actually over on our YouTube channel at channelingo.com. Follow the link to our YouTube channel, and we actually have a whole bunch of video that we took of all of the Omegathon rounds, which are going to be going up very shortly. So you can see Crispy Goat's epic 200-point bop it round. You can see Memo's
super sad face.
Uno explosion.
I will say I did go out in the same round as last year's runner-up, so I feel like the game of chance was played a large role.
It was super ironic that you as one of the people that obviously you are on a weekly video game podcast and you get knocked out with a paper
with a non-video
card game.
That's what I said to you guys. I said if I get knocked out of this without playing a video game, I'm going to be so upset. And that's exactly what happened. I talked myself out of it. Oh well.
So
I'm glad, because the stress leading up to that first round was immense. So I can only imagine if I'd been had to carry that through to the second day, that would have been just a lot. And I had a lot of fun cheering everybody on, and just being part of it, and just great. And
that's
the crowds.
The second thing I just wanted to say, and I hope you're paying attention because I'm about to pay you a very, very big compliment, Imogen. You wrote on your Omegathon entry form when you got selected initially that you were going to be the most excited Omeganaut ever. And I think that you absolutely lived up to that, but only after you got eliminated. I think that you were the most excited Omegathon sort of cheer squad I've ever seen. You were more excited about the entire event than just about every other person there after you got knocked the fuck out.
Beforehand, I was so stressed.
Oh my God,
it was a roller coaster, man. It was a roller coaster.
No, I thought it was great. You were the best friend to everybody, and I was super proud to sort of be there watching everybody as well. And
Thanks,
I thought
dude.
you did great. Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing the other Omeganauts that come over from the US and hearing they shared their experiences with us and everything, and it was just really nice. There's a community online for people who've competed. It's just nice. All the warm and fuzzies, and it makes that post-PAX depression all that more poignant, I think. But no, it was an amazing experience, and thanks, guys, for sticking with me.
No, it was cool. It was cool.
course.
I want to play Cowbots and Indian and Aliens though. Oh my god, that game looks awesome.
Yeah, I want to smash a bottle, like bottle only fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I just want to give a very, very quick shout out. I hope he's listening to Gyasi Gray, who is one of the US Omegathon winners. Just purely because he has sent me a whole stack of Omegathon footage that he took over the weekend as well. So,
Oh, awesome!
yeah, I'll be splicing some of that into our stuff.
He managed to get that Tetris chant that's still in my goddamn head.
Yeah.
That immediately dropped the moment I got home.
Oh, really?
Because I had other music. Yeah, the whole reason I had that was because I had no other music, so I just filled the empty space with Tetris. You're welcome, by the way.
Space in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as soon as I got other music, it vanished.
So Tetris was sort of the theme across the whole weekend. Someone in an elevator started humming it at one point, and then it just continued for the entire weekend. It was hilarious.
It was all your fault for saying you Tetris the luggage.
Yeah, it was when we were going to the airport we started singing that song.
It's at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had a crowded main theatre at PAX clapping and singing along. It was awesome. So, yeah. Was it the main theatre? It was one of the theatres. I don't know if it was the main one. We definitely got a whole bunch of people doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. Oh, all right. So Omegathon all done. Well done to Travis Erickson for running a great contest this year as well. Yep.
Amazing job, and he copped a lot of flack on the weekend for some maths miscalculations, but luckily for him, all of the Meganauts were just super fantastic throughout the weekend, and we love it. We love that we're the year that there was 21 instead of 20, and we accidentally didn't knock out enough people in the Rascals round or the Western Press round, so oh well, we're the special year.
All right, so moving on to day 2, I guess. I mean, what other stuff was going on and people looking at? I was tied up with a whole bunch of interviews and things with people, so I didn't maybe see as much as some other people, but you guys saw a whole bunch of good PAX Rising games and things. What were the highlights there?
You go first, Ollie.
All right, sure. We played Brief Battles. That was entirely amusing.
That was fun. That game is good.
It's
a
funny.
4-player game against each other where you just soil your underpants against your enemies.
Yep. So it's like Towerfall Ascension, where you have multiple people on the same screen, jumping around everywhere, doing cool stuff. Very cute, like Battle Block Theatre-esque art style. And it's all underwear themed. And it was amazing.
So,
How about you, Jam?
I think my favourite on the Saturday would have been Abby, which I'd never heard of before. So it was just a short-ish demo. It's still in development, but it's this gorgeous little game where you control a little robot, a tiny little robot called Abby with beautiful big
Very
eyes.
cute. Yeah.
And Abby's big friend Didi, who's a big industrial type robot, and use their different sort of skills to solve little puzzles. But just the art style was so gorgeous. I couldn't hear the music, but I've heard that it was lovely.
It was very good. Yeah.
I am going to be keeping an eye on it. It was just super cute, and the other robots that you interact with had like some spunk and attitude, which was funny. So yeah, very, very curious to see more.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get more hands-on time and can do a bit more of a review on that to come, because I also had a quick go and had a chat to the guys who were there at PAX, and great little game. I want to see more.
Yeah, absolutely.
so who can talk about American Dream? Because this is one that I kept on hearing a bit about over the weekend. What the heck was that game?
I can. So American Dream is a on-rails VR shooter with like a... it's essentially alternate reality where you use guns to do everything but kill people.
Okay.
So you use guns
It's
to...
so ridiculous.
It's the best. You use guns to feed your baby. You use guns to open the door. You use guns to shoot holes into bagels to make them donuts. You shoot guns to get rid of the bad stuff off your conveyor belt. You shoot guns to do math. It's ridiculous. And it's very kind of Fallout-esque in that the humor, which is quite nice. very good time period music. Graphics are kind of cool, and they have a very cool little reloading thing. We have a little button on the like where your chair arm would be, and you hit that, clip jumps into the air, and you move your gun to reload. It was good fun. Took me a little while to get my aim in on VR, which was annoying. I'm like, I fired real guns. This is slightly off.
And this was a
once I
Vive
got the
one,
hang of
was
it, it was good. Yes, this was a HC Vive. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, worked really well. Very smooth demo. Love the humor, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Would recommend American Dream if you want ridiculous gun fun.
I was entertained
think-
just watching you and Simo.
Yeah. Just watching I just walked past that a couple of times and just stopped and just watched the screen, and every time I saw something different and very tongue-in-cheek, which I love, but I think it's a great way, a lot of the games that we saw are great ways to introduce people to VR or the idea of VR. And everybody on the floor at PAX, I feel like in that Rising area, were using VR in a different way. And I just have to give a bit of a general shout out. I did not expect VR to be so dense as it was. I mean, there was so many different types of VR to try. Obviously, the PSVR was on the floor as well, and all of the different Rising teams, and it was so popular, and I love it. I love that people wanted to get their hands on it and give it a go. I think it's the ideal way to start getting the word out about it, and that it's not an alien science. It's, it's real, and you can have fun like American Dream, or you could do something quite serious, or quite fast-paced in other things. So really well done, just generally.
Look, I think if anything, the final round of the Omegathon with cowbots and aliens will open a lot of people's eyes as to what could be possible with that.
I cannot wait to play that game with you guys. Seriously.
I have to admit, this, and I don't know about you guys, so I played 4 different VR games at PAX, and I am thoroughly sold on VR now. Thoroughly.
Yeah.
I can't talk for AR because I haven't played many AR games, but VR, yeah, I am keen to adopt that one.
Yeah. I mean, I tried PSVR for the first time on the weekend and booked in early to the PlayStation booth to do so, and luckily so, because it was booked out for the entire weekend, as were most sort of booking spots on the weekend. And, I see what a lot of people are saying. If you're going to go for quality, you go for other headsets. But the PSVR, in terms of accessibility, how it fits and how it sits, it's, it feels like more streamlined, like less cables. It feels less complicated, and so you can kind of forgive it for a little bit of less maybe resolution or quality in terms of the VR. But I did Street Luge, which was really cool, because what they did was sort of sit you down in a chair and you put on the headset and you do sort of a Street Luge thing where you turn your head to move left or right, which was great fun. And after you put the headset on, very well instructed, and, the way that the headset goes on worked really well with my glasses, which I was just overwhelmingly ecstatic about. And then, of course, whilst I'm going down the hill, they had like a little fan they pulled out from behind the cupboard and turned it on, so you get the kind of realistic thing. Unfortunately, I was with Jam's sister Kate, and so she's like, "Oh, cool! They've even got a little fan." And she's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to say that." So she kind of ruined the immersion a little bit. But, it was really good. I do have to say that's probably the quote-unquote fastest paced VR game that I've ever tried, and I only did it for maybe 5 minutes, and I do feel like I was getting a little bit motion sick, maybe, and I don't know if it was because I wasn't fully immersive with sound or what was happening, but I don't know, maybe the fan was there so I didn't vomit on people. Who knows? But so I am keen to sort of spend more time in PSVR, but I'm starting to see the difference between them. I'm starting to see the benefits to it. I'm starting to see not just games being used in VR, I'm starting to see, practical applications of it. And I know Child's Play are looking into therapeutic applications of things like VR, and it'll be... The future is so exciting, guys.
The thing I saw for VR was the real estate industry. So designing a house, you can walk through your house like, oh, do you want to get rid of that wall? Sure, this is what it looks like. And you can see what the interior of your house looks like when you do that.
Yeah, and using it to
cool.
inspect properties for rent, and it's... The future of VR is very bright, and I was glad to see, it wasn't like there was, 6 people showing VR and it was all very similar games with different skins.
No, it was
Everyone
massively
was doing,
different.
Yeah, massively different, utilizing the technology in so many different interesting ways. There was everything from, our Local guys with Stir Fry, with Symphony of the Machine. There was that cool shark one, which I've forgotten the name of, which looked amazing. Kept VR, which just looked like a magical wonderland. Unfortunately, with all of my commitments over the weekend, I got a little bit short on time to line up for things. And then, of course, American Dream and the Street Luge that was PSVR. So many different applications of a technology, and we're not even in, this is just the beginning.
And as much
exciting times.
As much as there was around the place too, and I mean they had the big VR free play area, and obviously a lot of the places that had VR machines on display in previous years had really ramped up the amount of headsets available and that kind of thing. And I mean I was chatting to V from Stirfire, and she was saying that the amount of people they had coming through was just non-stop. They're still not meeting the demand. I mean, there were bookings days and days and days in advance for some of this stuff. And, by the time people were getting there on Friday, all of the Sunday sessions for a lot of the games were just booked solid. There was no way to get in unless you really got there from the get-go.
PSVR was all ahead of time.
Yeah.
When I went up, there was people coming to say, how do I get on the list? Because they saw us all signing up. They said, sorry, we're fully booked.
So an event like PAX, I mean, how do you fix that issue? I mean, there's going to be people who miss out, unfortunately, and there's just... I mean, it must be immensely disappointing for people who actually want to come and experience that kind of thing if they're not really on the ball. I just don't know how they get around that.
The great thing for PAX is I think with the lots of different things on offer, you could have tried one. I mean, the free play VR area upstairs I knew was extremely busy and had some amazing games. There was the one where you played it like a first-person shooter type thing, and it actually green screened you against the thing, and you wore like a flak jacket for tactics. Oh, it was just... not so application. So I think you could have got into one. If you came to try the PSVR and that was your only opportunity, then yes, it would be disappointing. But maybe it'll also drive demand a little bit more. I mean, people want to try it, so I don't think they're going to discourage and think it's going to go away and they're not going to get a chance. I think they'll just wait for the next opportunity. And I think everybody did as well as they could to fit as many people as they could in, and lots of different ways. There was booking times, there was ticket systems, there was, come back and, smaller sort of sign-up blocks. So we're opening sign-up at 1 and then again at 3 for the next day. And
that's a good way to do it.
Everyone was being very fair and trying to do their best. And I didn't hear one single person say that, lines were ridiculous. And I mean, Jam and I, we've lined up for regular games for an hour and 20 and still not got a chance to play them at PAX before. So I think the VR was done exceptionally well, especially considering that we're in the Rising area and these are all indie development studios. So just awesome. VR all the way. I'm down. I was a little bit on the fence, but the more that I play in that world, the more that I want to do it. I originally thought that it was going to be a really isolating technology, but it's really not, because it's a shared experience, much like going to a PAX or anything else. It's so immersive that it becomes a shared experience. So VR all the way. I am on the bandwagon.
Yep.
Sign me up. Get me a comfortable seat. Yep, hitch my horses. I'm on the wagon. Join me, friends.
Viva la VR.
Too many V's.
Yep. That's it. Oh, well, I mean, what else did you guys see? I saw a couple of you loitering around the Swinburne area. What was...
Swinburne? Good job.
Swinburne.
The flub is so strong with you today.
It's been a long week.
yeah. We've done a lot of talking. It's all right, Luke. Yeah, the Swinburne University of Technology was there in force. Actually, what I found out really late in the weekend that one of my fellow Omeganauts was a dev with an aspiring dev with a game there. So went down and had a look, and then realized that one game that our group had been raving about was also part of this booth. So basically, groups of students who were presenting their games. There was one called Lunch Break, which is a game where you choose a character and you are effectively on your lunch break. You get on a wheelie chair and you fight your way down a hill. So you're basically playing Street Luge on an office chair while kicking and punching your opponents.
Oh, this is the one everyone was talking about.
Game.
Okay.
Yes.
It was so fun.
Great.
So
and you're all connected by a large, oversized rubber band, so you can't get too far away. You can actually yoink people away from power-ups
into things and
gosh,
it was just hilarious. And the fact that I had 4 different separate groups of people come and tell me about this game, and so I was absolutely blown away to find it at the Swinburne booth. Also checked out Continuum, which was my fellow Omeganauts game. She's one of 3 on that project, and that game was awesome.
It was so cool.
Definitely want to play that game. Like Jam and I, it's a cross between, let's say, a Tetris and a Space Invaders. The idea being the further up the screen you go, the faster blocks fall. You can shoot them. There's enemies on the screen, much like Space Invaders, and it's for points. And just the very sort of futuristic, I guess is the best way to put it. I would compare the graphics similar to Geometry Wars, but certainly not, a kid. It's hard to describe, but look up Continuum. I'm sure it's on Swinburne's website for their game dev guys, and Lunch Break as well. Just awesome games, and to see so many different universities and TAFEs, as well as the Australian STEM project, which is high school students developing games. So not PAX Rising and indie devs. We're also seeing, the next generation of devs that are going to be flooding into our market. Just awesome to see. And some really great games. And considering, the Swinburne booth is next to, Ubisoft's booth, and, you can hear the esports from the STEM stage and everything else. It just did an astounding. So for me, that was a big highlight, is seeing what's next, what's coming, and just getting hands-on with games and being able to speak to developers, which is what we love about PAX Rising.
So Continuum was
solid showing.
Was the Omeganaut you were talking about, Claire, that we were sitting next to on the final
Claire,
round?
sorry, yep.
Yeah, Claire
Yes.
Rockelmeyer, yeah.
Yeah.
So got a chance to chat to her during the final round. So yeah, big shout out to her.
It was the most hilarious moment where she's like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna." She got knocked out on the second day. She's like, "Oh, I don't know." Oh, the second round, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it to the other rounds, and we'll see, kind of thing. And then she's, I've got an assignment due, so I was like, "Oh, well, what are you studying?" Kind of thing. "Oh, game design." I was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my god." That's a bit scary. I'm glad I didn't know that beforehand. That would have been very intimidating. But no, she was great. We hung out a lot on the weekend and had a chat. So it was awesome to then go and find that her game was on the floor and have a play, and how gratifying. I mean, I hope the students got some great feedback, because we certainly enjoyed the games. And I know Lunch Break was just such a massive hit with our group. People kept telling me about it. I'm like, yes, I've had a go. It's, it's a great game. So.
You got to think though that, like, someone learning that they're up against someone in the Omegathon who's doing game design qualifications would be about as intimidating as come up against someone who talks about video games on a weekly basis on a podcast. So,
that's also true.
Yeah.
Little do they know that I'm just shocking at Twitch reflexes. Now they know. Now they know.
Now the secret's out.
Yeah. That's it.
My head of psychological warfare did the good job.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, we could probably talk about these indie games all night, but we're going to save a few for next week, because there is, of course, the indie showcase winners, which deserve a bit of attention, and we probably want to chat about them in some more detail. And we have got videos going up for each of those very shortly too. I mean, what other stuff did we sort of get up to game-wise? I know that we all had a crack at and quite enjoyed Penny Arcade's Thornwatch game, which actually felt to me a lot less like an RPG and more like a really sort of RPG-esque board game. I don't know what your thoughts on that were.
Well, I think that's because of the nature of the quick thing we were doing, though. Like, because it was just a little, sit down, play, get going sort of thing. So it's not going to have heavy RP elements, potentially.
Yeah.
So you'll find out when my Kickstarter arrives, Luke.
Yeah, I'm keen to take a detailed look at it now outside of that.
I'm keen. I was so tired on that Saturday night when we got a chance to play, and I just couldn't say no, because I've been waiting to play this game and get hands-on with it for so long. And I sat down and listened to all the instructions as dutifully as I could and everything. And then they hand you out those cards where they say, if you do really well at role-playing, then you get these, bonus dice or whatever. And Luke got handed a card that said cocky, and I don't know what it was, but I just decided that I was too tired
to put up with my crap.
Luke trying to role play being cocky. And I was like, you know what, Jason, did you want to go? Because I'm going to kill somebody. But no, I'm really glad that I got to see it and see the setup of it, and I can't wait to have a go when you guys get your Kickstarter sets.
Yeah, I'm keen too, because Dave, who was being the game master, just smashed us. He got so lucky.
He's great.
Oh my god! So essentially the initiative of the bad guys just smashed us each round.
Did he
rolled
always
well.
get good initiative? Yeah.
Yeah.
They went first.
All the
We were
time.
on the back foot the whole time, and but I still enjoyed it so much. I can't wait to play again.
It's definitely one of those games that when you get to the end of it and you get smashed, you realize immediately where you went wrong, and you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
next time through, this is going to be super different because now I understand how this works. So
Exactly. Especially knowing each character's unique. They have particular skills and ways they could turn. And luck of the draw. Some cards I was drawing some excellent abilities, but I wasn't getting, the equivalent of the mana to power them up in time. So yeah, can't wait to play again now that I have a better idea.
now the other thing that I thought was quite interesting across the weekend, and even more so when just earlier this evening we got to see, probably the outcome of all of the efforts was, Ollie, you were on a bit of a cosplay hunt this weekend, and you saw some pretty awesome examples of cosplay and got to chat to a whole bunch of people with the possible plan in the future of maybe using some of those techniques and putting something together yourself. So you want to tell us about that? What kind of stuff did you see on the weekend that sort of captured your attention?
What didn't I freaking see? I saw everything from a big sister to a Reinhardt, like a full-size Reinhardt, that is.
Yeah.
To like a guy in the Fallout scavenger power armor, Soldier 76ers, Maze.
Inflatable
Oh,
dinosaurs
that
dressed as Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a video, hashtag
it's
just
just
PAX
the best.
things, or only at PAX,
Yeah.
of 4 people in the T-Rex dinosaur outfits, also in Sailor Moon outfits, playing Just Dance.
Just that moment when I panned across the crowd and then there was just a 5th dinosaur just dancing in the crowd along with them.
Yep.
Oh my!
He was part of their group.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you
he
put the
couldn't fit
post
on
up, Imogen, but
stage.
I was going to go hashtag PAX as fuck for that
Yeah,
one.
PAX AF.
Yeah.
PAX AF. Apparently, those dinosaurs were also spotted doing lightsaber battles on the weekend.
Yeah.
They had a swashbuckle on the boat. Oh, just
that's amazing.
everything I love about PAX is the amazing effort these cosplayers go into, the showcasing of their abilities, the community, and they're all supporting each other and they all talk to each other and share
And
ideas.
they're happy to chat to literally anybody, and they always go, yeah, a photo's fine. Like, I did not get a single person going, no, I don't want a photo right now. Like, everyone was
Yeah.
like, yep, I've got tons of stuff. Someone else hold this.
It's kind
Take my
of
photo.
it's kind of convenient when you think that the nature of the hobby is that you want attention, so therefore it makes people extremely approachable. It's a good combination. Yeah.
Yeah. Nature of the hobby is to showcase some amazing talent at making these costumes. My favourite, definitely, I mean, other than Simo, of course, because you're
Of
home for a
course.
hero.
He did a great job. He did a really good
He
job.
did an amazing job. And there were some other Jeans on the weekend that we saw, which they all high-fived, which was quite weird to see. But no, there was 2 Mercies who were there on the weekend. And in fact, one Mercy I followed up, and she was actually Mercy on all 3 days, but different Mercies.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So she
nice.
was she was Playboy Mercy on Friday, traditional Mercy on Saturday. Oh no, I think she was something else entirely. Sorry, on the
Succubus
Sunday,
Mercy?
but
Or Imp
no,
Mercy
I
or
don't.
whatever it is?
No. She was something else entirely on the Sunday, I think. But just different modes of Mercy. But the Saturday costume, one that was just stuck in my head, the plate armor on the front and the wings and everything else, just astounding. I'm always awed and amazed, and the cosplay community at PAX gets bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, there's a lot of Overwatch cosplay, which is not surprising and still super cool when done properly. That Reinhardt,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
That huge
It was
Reinhardt. I
enormous.
didn't see him in person, which is
Yeah, I had
hard
a
to
chat to
believe,
him.
I guess.
Something like
Yeah.
1,300 hours he's put into
Oh
that
my
thing.
god.
Goodness gracious! I hope he just travels around Australia with it too, because you wouldn't want to wear that just once, surely.
No. No.
Just astounding. And as the gender bending Harley Quinn, who just is obviously uncomfortable in their heels all weekend, highlight. But this just turned on the show whenever somebody wanted a photo, and I love it. I love it. It's another way to make people more approachable at PAX and for people to showcase their talent. So good on you, folks.
That
Solid
was some
showing.
awesome stuff.
Yep. So what are you thinking, Ollie, for your cosplay?
I have no
effort?
fucking idea. I'm literally going to look up cosplay for dummies guide.
Hitman. Just
Maybe-
do Hitman day
Hitman.
1, One Punch Man day 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Ancient One Day 3.
Yeah, day
Done.
3 you
Sorted.
can cosplay as Ollie from Party Loaded.
Yep. Yeah. We didn't even mention that either, but oh man, Doctor Strange, that was a highlight of the week too. That was a really fun thing to do just before PAX. So
Freaking 3D IMAX.
Yep.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, just lazy $40 for a ticket, but no dramas.
I was happy to pay that $40. It was worth the experience. I thought it was good. I hate 3D
Australian
movies,
pack
but that was a good
lips
one to do. So no, super fun. And then we wrapped things up and all came home, and then the world turned itself on its head.
Yeah.
And here we are. So, yeah, no, I mean, overall thoughts from the weekend. I mean, can you each sort of summarize your experience with maybe your personal highlight, and then we'll cover some of the individual sort of indie showcase winners next week. What did PAX sort of leave you with more than anything this time? Jam, you want to go first? What was your overall?
The Omegathon finale was outstanding. I highly recommend again that you go watch it.
I don't understand people who don't go to the closing ceremony. Honestly, it's one of the best things of the whole event. Anyway, go on.
Oh yeah, so many people have to fly out though and get back. You know,
Yeah.
to where they are by Monday. Work obligations, being a grown up.
Etc.
PAX Rising, without a doubt, every year. I'm so glad it was so much bigger this year. There was so much more to see, and I still didn't get to see all of it. Just phenomenal, and there are so many little games that I want to just mention next week to put on people's radars. Incredible variety. I'm so excited.
Memo, Omegathon, I'm guessing, for one of them.
Yeah, no, definitely a Megathon. I've said to you guys many times on the weekend, being an Omeganaut and also doing interviews and stuff, it was a very different PAX, but not bad. It's just, my PAX is usually, I have 3 full days where I don't have any commitment, so I just do what I like. And this year I was hemmed in with when the Omegathon rounds were, because I was committed to going to those, as well as some interviews that we had to do. So I maybe didn't do as much and had a little bit of a heart attack at the end of day 2 that I hadn't done enough PAX Rising, but got some solid day in. So my overall is, it was a different PAX, but I'm glad that I've seen such a different dimension of it. And it just makes me love my opportunity to be a big kid for 3 days so much more. I was a big kid in a whole different way this year.
Yeah. Ollie, what are your highlights? Cosplay?
I got to meet Chris Straub. That was
nice.
a pretty big fucking highlight for me.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fanboy for him, so get my man crush on. It was great. And being sold on VR.
Yeah.
This was the PAX that sold me on VR. Like, I am thoroughly keen for VR now. So that was the biggest takeaway for me, was VR is legit.
Yeah. Well, I'm really, really glad that by the end of the weekend we got a chance to catch up with a few people that we've made the acquaintance of remotely during the year. So got a chance to have a good catch up with Yug and see how he was doing. Crazy man running all over the place over the weekend.
We spotted Gabby Borland. We win.
Yeah. Did you see the posters that had gone up about the missing Pokemon player? Yeah. that was hilarious. So he was having a good time, and he had some interesting things to say about the PAX Rising area, sort of, being one of the things that he loves the most as well, and he'd love to see some of the people that have been there for the last 3 years just hurry up and release their games already. Sort of thing. So it was an interesting takeaway. We caught Kristen on the very final day at the end of the last round.
That was definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
I was just super happy and walked up to her, and it wasn't even a question. She just gave me a big hug, and you talked about fanboying out about Chris Straub, but just massive fangirl moment for actually meeting her in person. So
yeah.
Thanks, Kristen.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was really, really good to get that in. That was excellent. But for me, I think probably the highlights were sort of seeing and speaking in a bit more detail with some of the PAX Rising Showcase winners. We'll talk a bit more about my pick for the most immersive experience I had there was Objects in Space with Lee Harris. And I'm really looking forward to cutting the video that I took with him for that one, because that's a seriously interesting game. So more on that later. But the Omegathon was a huge highlight for me too. Like, this is actually the first PAX that I've attended anything other than the final round for the Omegathon. Like, I've never actually attended any of the previous rounds before, only the closing ceremony. Yeah. And I think I'm going to have to do it every year, because holy crap, it was awesome. It was way better than I thought it would be.
Awesome.
Just get into it next year, Luke. It's easy.
Yeah,
Oh, well, yeah, I hope so.
exactly. One of you guys has to do it so then I can cheer you on.
Make it a
and then-
tradition. Every year, one of us gets in.
That would be really good.
Yeah. And then you've got 21 people from this year cheering you on. You'll have your 20 from next year. It'll be great. I was just astounded by how many people came to watch me play Uno. What the hell? And, the Western Press round, they had to stop people coming in to the theatre. It's just great.
Yeah, it was
Just
amazing.
Such amazing dimension to PAX. Happens at every
what,
PAX.
didn't you say one of the American guys was like, it's not even that big in America, and their PAX is infinitely bigger than ours as far as sheer numbers are concerned, and yet we had more
when they
people
had to
turning up
stop
to the Omegathon.
Yeah, when they had to stop people coming in at a point, there was, put your hand up if you have a spare seat next to you, and then, standing room only kind of deal happening. Just amazing. So kudos to Travis and the enforcers and the American guys who've made their trip all the way over to Australia and still made the time to come and see all of the Omegathon rounds. That was really touching.
I said this to a couple of
part of
people on the weekend, but I think that the Omegathon is really a great representation of PAX in general, because you have a whole bunch of people from diverse backgrounds and skill levels and, game sort of preferences and motivations coming together, playing a whole bunch of different types of games. It's not like it's all video games. There's a good mix of everything in there. Generally having a really fun time, sharing that spirit of camaraderie and competition and, goodwill. And, then you've got those really intense sort of, struggle moments that end up being some of the biggest, defeats or victories across the entire weekend that give you real stories to tell, like, that moment with Boppet and the final round. To me, that is PAX. That is exactly the spirit of the whole event, and it's captured in that, that structure of competitive play, and I love the shit out of it. More people need to get into this event. It's really worth your time. So, yeah.
Yeah, well said, Luke. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's what it's about. It's about hanging out with each other and playing games and cheering each other on despite the odds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finding those moments.
And
your moment, people.
And thank you, Imogen. Thank you for the next one of us that gets selected. We actually don't have as high a bar to smash. That's great.
There's the backhanded compliment.
Wow,
There we go.
crap.
There's the Luke we
There it
know,
is.
everybody.
Oh my
There
God.
he
I'm
is.
back.
Wow.
Mate.
Yeah, back in form.
Mate. You just wait till I download Civ and you get your ass handed to you, sir.
Yes.
That's fair. We can return to our regular program schedule very shortly.
I have a computer now that can run it for you, Imogen. Just saying.
Very good.
Part of a computer.
Most of a computer.
Anyway, all right. Well, between now and next week, I guess we can sort of acclimatise back to some real life stuff again. Get back to some of our games that we've neglected for the last week or so.
Overwatch, come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, as soon as Sombra goes live, I think I would not be surprised if all of us are jumping into that like a shot and having a bit of a play. We've definitely got some more Civ to get back to. We've probably got a little bit of Warcraft to get back to and see what our tunes have been doing while we've been gone. Have you
I might
actually
have some Dishonored 2 actually at that point as well, potentially.
Oh, Sonic 2.
Wow.
Hey,
No,
interesting.
Dishonored 2, yeah.
Oh, Dishonored 2, sorry. I thought you said Sonic 2. It's like, yeah, that was a thing.
Jesus.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing your take on Dishonored, actually. That's intriguing me quite a bit, so...
I will probably be it will probably be one of my only biased reviews.
Oh, really?
Because I love the game so much. I was like, this is great, I don't care. Ah.
Is that next week, or is that coming out even soon?
It's already in the mail for me, because I pre-ordered it.
Ooh, interesting. So
So it's up to the vagaries of Australia Post.
We're finally...
So next year sometime
Oh,
I'll
dear.
get it.
We're finally past the month of shooters, aren't we? Because Call of Duty is now out.
Yep, BF1's out.
Yep, Titanfall 2's out. So we're through that massive gauntlet. It's been a big year of shooters, actually. It's going to
That's
be
another game I need to check out, actually.
Titanfall.
Yeah.
Yep, have heard good things. But anyway, again, too many games, too little time. So let's hop off and get playing. So anyway, if you want to check out our stuffs between now and next episode, of course, you can find us on social media at all the usual locations. So you can find us on Instagram at where, Imogen?
At Party Loaded.
All right. And we're on Facebook at facebook.com/partyloaded, on Twitter at partyloadedshow. Of course, you can find us on YouTube. The YouTube link is gobbledygook at the moment, but you can hop onto any of our other social media sources and you'll find the link there, or search for Party Loaded on YouTube. In fact, if you search for Party Loaded and PAX Australia 2016, you'll find some content that we are in the process of uploading now. There's a bunch of videos going up. So please hop on, like the content and subscribe, and you can check out all that stuff. More
We did a
gameplay
thing.
things coming soon.
We're doing that thing.
Yep. That's it. And of course, you can pop us emails, which will reach all of us at mail@partyloaded.com. Particularly any of our new friends, any of our new listeners that have just started to follow us since the PAX weekend, welcome, and hope you enjoy the show, hope you enjoy the ride, and stick with us, because we've got lots of fun stuff to talk about in the coming months, that's for sure. So, that's it. So, I think the hype train for PAX 2017 has already started. It's already left the station.
Slowly chugging out of the station.
Yeah, and if there was ever a time where the world of nerds needed a higher level of escapism, it's right now. So I'm looking forward to riding that train all the way into the next event. It'll be good. Yeah. But until next week, where we have more of this fun stuff to talk about, that is it for all of us. Good night, everyone.
Bye, friends.
Laters.
The Party Loaded podcast is a Channel Endgame production. For this and more great gaming content, bookmark channelendgame.com.